Young minds on the mic, just that big conversation. From the headlines to the hustle, just that new generation. Talking fashion, talking movies, talking hits in rotation. You can feel it when we speak, just that elevation. We the voice of the now, trendsetters and change makers. Drip talk, real trailblazers, tapping every Wednesday. Powered up by the Brotherhood Crusade. In the cut. 5:30 accelerated radio plays us. The next young Crusaders. The next young Crusaders. Yeah. Turn it up. It's the next wave, baby. The next young Crusaders. We the Crusader now. We the voice of the now, trendsetters and change makers. From the back talk, drip talk, real trailblazers, tapping every Wednesday. Your favorites. Powered up by the Brotherhood Crusade. And be more in the cut. 5:30 accelerated radio plays young Crusaders. The next young Crusaders. Young minds on the mic, just that big conversation. From the headlines to the hustle, just that new generation. Talking fashion, talking movies, talking...
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Next Young Crusaders with our Career Cafe segment. I'm your host, Paige Stevenson.
I'm your co-host, Riley Johnson.
And today we have some very, very special guests in honor of wrapping up Women's History Month. While March is recognized as National Women's History Month, we are closely approaching the new month of April, which highlights Black women's history. Today, we have two strong Black women who are moguls in our communities, specifically Carson and Compton. Mayor Lula Davis Holmes is Carson's first Black woman mayor, re-elected in 2024. A longtime resident and former city council member, she focused on affordable housing, public safety, youth programs, and economic growth. She holds a bachelor's in sociology and a master's in public administration from Cal State Dominguez Hills, and continues working to build safer, stronger, and more connected Carson for all residents. Welcome, everyone, Mayor Davis Holmes.
Mayor Emma Sharif holds a Bachelor in Political Science and Sociology and a Master's in Public Administration from also California State University, Dominguez Hills. A Compton resident for over 30 years, she served 14 years on the school board and later on city council right before being elected mayor in 2021. She's focused on unifying the community, modernizing infrastructure, and supporting arts and education. Everyone, please give a very warm welcome to Mayor Sharif. So we are so happy to have you all. Thank you so much for coming in today. Well, I just wanted to start, how was both of your days?
My day was great.
Good day?
Yeah,
Good day?
my day was, I had a good day today.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Not often I have a good day, but this was a good day.
Okay, good. We're off to a good start.
Yeah, this was a good day.
What about you? How was your day?
Mayor Holmes, I had a great day. You know, I babysit some puppies today.
Okay. Okay.
That was
It
baby
was a good,
Kinky.
relaxing day. My daughter's dog, Miss Beauty, and my Mr. Bailey, they had a day to hang out with me.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I should have brought Mecca.
Well, thank you for coming. Let's jump into our first question. So I want to ask you both about historic milestones. You both represent first or major shifts in leadership for your cities. I want to ask, how has being a woman mayor shaped the way Carson and Compton tackle community challenges? Mayor Sharif.
I believe that a woman's perspective changes a lot. That's what happened in the community. It's how you deal with things, how you treat people, and it just bring a whole different perspective. Not so much as the I would say the old boys club, but some more a perspective of listening, being willing to work with people, and being and willing to be more of a collaborative person.
Go ahead.
Collaborating.
Thank you.
Well, for me, I'm a woman.
Period.
I know how to multitask, because if you've been a mother and a wife, you know how to multitask. And so I took those skills that I had from being a mother and a wife into my position as the mayor of this great city of Carson. And then you also have to learn how to work with the men that have been used to running the city. So that alone and my leadership skills that I brought, because I worked my way up from being a volunteer in the city of Carson to being the first superintendent in the city of Carson. So I knew all the ins and out of how to run a city, and I just put those skills to work when I was elected mayor, because you know, sometimes being elected to these political positions is a popularity contest. I came with the skills and the knowledge and the know-how and the why it's important to run the city and be on top of things that take place in the city. So I brought those skills to the table, and just being a woman, you know, like it says, I'm a woman. I fry the bacon, do all that, you know, so I brought those skills to the table.
I believe, well, I would assume that being in those positions is a little intimidating. And I think it's really inspiring seeing Black women, you know, be able to push through and be leaders. And that leads me to my next question. What first inspired you to pursue leadership and public service?
Well, as I said, for me, I started out working as an employee, and I had the opportunity to see all the various leaderships and their styles and what was missing in the city of Carson. And at that time, when I decided to run, I was working for the city. Had a six-figure job as the first female superintendent. And I said, self, you're going to be a part of the problem, or you're going to be a part of the solution. I chose to be a part of the solution and to bring what I felt the city needed. Someone that was elected to serve, and I always emphasize the fact, serve the residents of the city of Carson, because it's not about me, it's about the residents in the city of Carson. So I brought those skills and the desire to the table.
Mayor Sharif?
Repeat that question again.
What first inspired you to pursue leadership in public service?
You know, when people ask me that, I always laugh because I was never eager to do this. It wasn't on something I got up and decided out one day I wanted to do. But being raised where I was born is that you never saw any women or anything that looked like me in any type of leadership position. And that desire was implanted in me some years back with my pastor, Reverend Cooley. And looking at how he addressed issues, looking at how he was my teacher, he was my pastor, he was also my adopted father when my father died. And so watching and just listening to him being to his looking at how he dealt with leadership, looking at how he approached things and how he did things, that was, I think, is what put me on the path of where I am now. Not that I was looking for it. It was like something that was like bestowed upon me. And because I cannot ever remember saying that I really want to be an elected official ever, because going through things as a young person, coming from the South and being born and raised in the South. It just some things that was not something that I actually desired at that time. But it had to be something, the only thing I can say, it had to be something that was instilled in me by being under his tutelage and him being my pastor, and how he helped guide me toward doing certain things.
Got it.
Yeah.
I definitely do feel, as a woman, kind of feeling the need to stand your ground, kind of maybe you may feel the need to maybe put your emotions behind you and stand tall and proud. I want to ask, you know, Women's History Month does celebrate progress. I want to ask, what initiatives are you most proud of that support women-owned businesses in both of your cities? Mayor Sharif?
There's a lot of women I see, they have a lot of, they own their own businesses. And they have a lot of nonprofits that they've opened up, and they've done exceptionally well. and I watch them and watch how they approach things and the things that they're doing. But I also watch them to see how they are being very steadfast on the things that they believe and everything. So that is something that and those are the type of women that I believe in supporting, and making sure that they get their service, that we provide a service for them if necessary, and collaborating with them, and to make sure that they can bring those things to the table there in the city of Compton. And so, like I said, I tell everybody I can't do this by myself, but I most certainly can do it with collaboration with different people. And I can change a lot there in my city. And that's what I continue to do every day, is I try to work with a lot of those women that have the businesses and they're really thriving and doing a great job. And so.
Definitely.
Well, for me, I understand that small business is the backbone of any city. And realizing that, the one thing that I did, I collaborated with Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, and started what we call a small business growth academy. We got to teach people how to fish. And so I took that, met with the university up there. We've graduated, I think we're on our 6th class. I requested that my city council fund this program so that we could teach them the why, who, what, when, where, and why of their business, why it's important for you to do certain things. And so from that academy, we have, I think this is my 6th academy that we've invested in the city of Carson at my recommendation. Our city photographer right now came out of one of the first small business growth academy. She is now the city's photographer because she had a business and she wanted to expose it, and so she went through my academy, and she's now gainfully employed and she's doing wonderful. We're also hiring some security guards because my philosophy is if we're going to train you, I'm going to hire you. And so we're looking for, anytime there's an opening in the city of Carson, the small business that have gone through that academy, they apply for it, and we've had great success. So my thing is, not only are we going to teach you how to fish and give you the who, what, when, where, and why, but when the opportunity arises, we're going to employ you. Because it's all about employment and making sure, if I'm sitting up here saying that small business is the backbone of my city, then I need to be the first one to say I have an opening, you need to come and apply for it. We're on our 6th class now. I think and each class has had over 30 of the small businesses in the city of Carson to go through that program, and it's word of mouth. The professor at Cal State Dominguez Hills is running that program along with our community development. Well, he's our Reclamation Authority Director right now. So the program is very successful. I always say I put my money where my mouth is. If I'm gonna talk it,
you're gonna walk it.
I'm gonna walk it.
No, that's right. You know, you mentioned the academies and leading and, you know, basically teaching people. And I think that's so important because innovation is important and foundation for, you know, the future. And you've led major projects from the Artesia Bridge to Carson's $88 million surplus. How do you balance the day-to-day work of fixing streets with the bigger vision for your cities?
Well, for me, you got to realize that there's a problem. And you said 88 million. I have 252 million.
Hey, look. That's right.
A balanced budget. I have $252 million, and that's with all bills being paid. Only a woman could do that.
That's right.
Plug. But you know, when I was elected, I had initiatives, things that I wanted to accomplish. My first year on the job, my second year on the job, and I'm pleased to say I started and I accomplished all of those initiatives. And one of them was rebranding the city. One was our infrastructure that you mentioned. For the first time in the history of the city of Carson, we allocated $35 million to get those potholes fixed. And they're on a time schedule. And we're gonna give them more money because I wanted our city to look like it did years ago. And we were known for a city with the best streets in the South Bay. We're moving in that direction right now, but in order to move in that direction, you have to have the funding to do it. And so $35 million was a large investment. I just my public works director and say, you need to come back and get some more, because every street in the city of Carson will be repaved, and it would look like we've branded ourselves the jewel of the South Bay. Well, you can't have potholes and you're named the jewel of the South Bay. Right. I'm also working with my colleague here, because Compton and Carson meet. So if you leave Carson on 91 going, that's Carson, then you go past it as Compton. Well, I think all the residents deserve the same quality of life, is what I call it, streets. And so I've been working with her, and we are working to make sure that when you cross into Compton, leaving Carson, that you have the same experience. You shouldn't have to be ducking and dodging potholes.
Right, definitely.
And I ducked and dodged a few, because I changed a tire one time in a week, hitting a pothole. Those tires are expensive.
Right.
And so that has been my main focus, and we have an excellent public works director that's working with us to make sure that our infrastructure, our streets, and we're investing another $15 million in our medians to make sure that they look the way the jewel of the South Bay should look. So we're doing a lot of things in the city of Carson.
Wow, I'm so excited to witness the development for it. Do you want to mention any renovations or kind of just piggybacking? How do you feel like you balance the day-to-day work of fixing the streets and the bigger vision for your city?
Well, we need quite a bit of money for us to be able to finish all the streets there in the city of Compton. However, since I came in as mayor, we've invested over $50 million project for the infrastructure. And we've been, I know a lot of people was talking about this street that was Wilmington. I couldn't wait to get Wilmington fixed, because I'm like, Lord have mercy. Wilmington has been that street is completely renovated, completely restored. Wow. And so I'm happy about that. But when she spoke about working together, that's something I really believe in. I believe in collaborating with my different cities, surrounding cities, and I've been able to do that with her very easily. Nothing. I didn't have to fight about this. I just when we decided to make we spoke about it and it was done. And I got in contact with my city manager and told him that he needed to get in contact with her city manager so they could sit down and start working together as far as some of those streets, and the two main streets would be Central and Wilmington. And everything. So we've always done that. So that works out well. And because I believe that anytime that you have a city that's across from you and you're adjacent, because the only thing that actually divides us is really a half of a street sometimes. One side may be Carson and the next side may be Compton. And I think it's incumbent upon us to try to work together in a team, in an effort, in order to try to address the issues that we may be having. And when I first came in, my first project was to fix the Artesia Bridge. And I had to call my legislators in Sacramento to try to help me get that done. And I was able to get that. I advocated for $12 million in order for us to get that bridge repaired. Wow. And so that I was happy about that, because everybody kept saying, well, she's not going to get that bridge fixed. I said, yes, the bridge is going to get fixed. And so, yes, the bridge is fixed. But not only is the bridge fixed, we are really actually invested a lot of money into our infrastructure, because I know that is one of the major issues that we were having there in our community, was that everybody was complaining. Everybody outside of Compton, everybody in Compton was complaining about our streets. And so now we are definitely on the way to actually, I put it like this, I can see some light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. Yep, I can see this project completely finished, and that's why I decided to rerun a second term.
Got it. Well, I can understand that both of you, I'm sure, have been handed millions of dollars to fix the beauty of your cities and the roads. Appreciate you for fixing the potholes. I wanted to ask, what obstacles have you faced along your journey? How did you overcome them?
You know, when I think about my journey, started way before I even realized that I would be on this path. And that was way back when I was probably a kid. I was one of the students that the integration process of the there in a small city where I came from, Forest City, Arkansas. I was one of the first students that actually integrated our white school. And so it was very difficult to sit in a classroom knowing that you were not wanted. And so what we did is that as a team of kids, trying to make sure all of us got across that finish line, which was graduating, is some things that we pulled together and did to make sure that we all were, not just one of us, but we all was able to graduate. And that was a challenge that for me, that even today, because of certain things that happen, it just sometimes just stick with you.
Yeah.
That's one of the challenges that I had to always get past. And I think my first desire was when I first decided that I was going to go back to I was going to go to college and start and work on a degree. And I did that. And so I'm very proud of it, but at the same time, like I said, is that sometimes stick with you when you are trying to move forward. But one thing I've always done is that I've always had a strong faith in God, and I believe that now I am moving in the direction that He wants me to go, even though it wasn't a direction that I chose for myself. I think this is the direction that He chose for me, and so I'm okay.
And one little question, because I heard you mention Arkansas and integrating the schools. Was that different?
No, it was, as a matter of fact, you're talking about the Little Rock 9.
Little Rock 9, yes.
And then after Little Rock 9, that took place also there in the small city where I lived in Forest City, Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's like one happened here, like everybody decided to move in that direction.
Right.
And so, like I said, that's why I'm here.
Yes.
But not, sometimes not by choice. But enjoying it and loving it, because one thing I do believe wholeheartedly is that the people in my city have to be first. They have to come first. It's not a second. They have to come first. They the people that I believe have elected me, and I make sure that I take a pride in making sure that I do everything I can to try to take care of the residents in the city of Compton.
Yeah. And I want to boomerang that question to you.
Boomerang. Well, I think first, as a woman, you have to realize that there's only a few of us. And so one of the main challenges that you have to overcome, that I had to overcome as a female leader of a city, was that good old boys mentality. And there were always men running the city, and it came as you're going to let this 5'2" former secretary run this city? Yes, you are. And I think the one thing that I had to make it sure that I am the mayor of this city. And you men, you were not elected, because I defeated 2 men in my election. The people called me. So when the people call, you respond. And the good Lord told me to wake up and say, it's time for you to run. But the one thing that I did that other males did not do, I came with an agenda. I came with goals and objectives. I'm managed by objective, and I felt it was important that we had to get everybody on the same page, because as I sat there as a staff person, 5 members, they had their own agenda. But you can't run the city with 5 different agendas and 5 different mayors with their own. The city manager hair was being pulled out, and he didn't know which way to go. So I came. I'm the mayor of the city.
Right.
I set the agenda. My council sets the policies, and staff here to implement them. There's no in between.
Right.
We are the policymakers, and I happen to be at the head of the table, and so nothing goes on my agenda unless I approve it. And we had an agenda, and in order to move in the direction that you want to move in, you got to have people that's willing to follow you.
Yeah.
And you have to have goals and objectives so that everybody understands the assignment. Everybody in the city of Carson understands the assignment. You can call them now, they'll tell you what the assignment is. Because we all we met, and we identified those goals and objectives, and we're moving in that direction. But I had to set that type of policy, and I had to change the culture of the environment that said that this is the mayor, this is the city council, and staff, you to implement our policies. It's not your policy, it's the city council's policies. Policies and procedure. You give people the marching orders, and we're all marching in the same direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of adding on to you kind of leading the people and the people bringing you on, the people calling you to mayor, I wanted to kind of talk about the residents and just what they can benefit from Compton and Carson. I want to ask about the 2028 Olympics. With the Olympics coming to the region, how can Carson and Compton ensure residents, not just visitors, benefit from this global event?
I believe that a lot of, especially, I mean, let me say this, I know she have a lot going on, and I love her. I'm serious. I'm so proud of her because she have a lot going on as far as the Olympics is concerned. We, on the other hand, we are working on some things now. I will be on the phone tomorrow morning with people from Paris and talking about what they want to do and what they want to bring here to the city of Compton. And so that is one of the things that I'm definitely pushing, because in making sure that we are participating in this. We have a part in this. Yeah. We just not standbys. We have to watch Lula have most of the fun, but we want to make sure that we're having some fun in Compton as well. Right. And even though we'll be going over to visit her at the same time, we want to make sure that Compton is having some fun and also being a part of this magnificent occasion as well. Yeah. And so that is one of the things that I'm working on every day. We have actually now open. We have we have an arts commission that we have starting, which would actually work along with the Olympics committee in order to see how we're going to bring things there to the city of Compton. And we also try to make sure that a lot of our small businesses actually can participate and be a part of that. Definitely. And that's one of the goals, is to try to make sure they can be a part of that. I do not want this to come to Compton, to come to California, and our businesses do not have an opportunity to participate, hopefully be a vendor, and that is what we're working on with a lot of our small businesses and everything, and trying to make sure that happens for them.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. You were mentioning that, Ms. Holmes, you have a lot to do with it as well. I want to hear a little bit about your part in the Olympics.
Well, I'm at the table.
That's right.
Clock it.
Yep.
I've been at the table, and you know, because you are coming to Carson, this is the first time in any Olympics that they have allowed, when you come to my city, you have to say the Olympics in the city of Carson. That's the first. You're not going to come to my city and just pass through and do your Olympics without my residents knowing what's going on. We will be having an Olympic Village in Carson, where all of the small businesses will come and participate, because it's important for them, because they're going to be inconvenienced. Our streets are going to be inconvenienced, our residents are going to be inconvenienced. So if they're going to be inconvenienced, they're going to profit from this inconvenience. So it will run close to Cal State Dominguez Hills and Dignity Health Sports Complex. It will consist of all the businesses that want to participate. We have already started a volunteer, LA 28 volunteer committee that will incorporate all of the churches, the business community, anyone that wants to be involved. We're reaching out to our cities and surrounding areas that are not hosting, because we're going to be hosting 5 events in Carson. So with those events, we want you to come, but we want you to stay. I just met with the General Consulate of Great Britain, toured him on the city, and I said, these are the opportunities that you'll have to have your own Olympic Village. Come to Carson. Why not Carson? We've already met with a few hotels that we have saying, why not Carson? I met with the owners of the DoubleTree. I need you to do a complete facelift, because when my residents, my guests come, we're global. So my goal was to say that when they come to Carson, they'll know they were in Carson, because most of the time I was there for the '84 Olympics. Everybody thought it was LA 28. They didn't know they were in Carson. My residents didn't participate. My small businesses didn't participate. They came, they saw, they went, and they left. Well, not this time. We're going to have watch parties at the small business, where they can open up their restaurants, sitting on the curbs, having their food, and you'll have a watch party, because I want everybody, it's all inclusive, because you're in the city of Carson. So therefore, if you're in the city of Carson, my residents and my business community is going to profit, and everyone that comes to Carson will know. My next dignitary will be coming from the Philippines. So we're reaching out to all the different countries that have not been tapped in and say, why not Carson? Come and have your Olympic Village here, because at that time you can showcase in the United States, because there's a lot of Great Britons, there are a lot of Filipinos. We host one of the largest populations of Filipinos in Carson. So when they come, they'll have their own spot where they can showcase what the Philippines are all about. We're going to taste their foods, all the different foods that's going to be coming to Carson. And it's going to be a day of celebration, because I want to make sure that Carson is the jewel of the South Bay, and that is recognized globally. When I went to visited Paris, I didn't get that all-inclusive feeling. I was there, and I was just treated as a guest. When the dignitaries come to Carson, they will have a special day. It won't be that you came and we didn't acknowledge you. So you'll have a village, you'll have a street fair that's going on. We're working on the logistics for his park with Metro. But it's going to be a great day, and the Olympics are going to start 30 days before, so we're going to have things. The Paralympics will be there, so we're going to jumpstart with the Paralympics and Dignity Health Sport Complex, and we're one of the few cities that have a university, Cal State University, Dominguez Hills. So we got to take advantage of all that, you know. And the Consulate General was impressed when he came. We took him on a tour, fed him, wined and dined him. He says, hey, this is VIP treatment, because that's the way I want you to feel when you leave. Well, I want them to feel welcome, you know, and I want my business communities to benefit from the fact that the Olympics are going to be in Carson. The torch is going to pass through Carson. I will be passing that. So I want everybody to know, say, even though I have a small city, I'm freeway close to everything. Right. And it's a small city with a big attitude.
Right, yes. And it will set a domino effect into the community, you know, rebuilding the community and, you know, continuing to gain its strength. And, you know, I think that's a little bit of what we're missing today. People being outside, like how you said, sitting on the curb, going to your local, you know, market and your mom and pop shop and just supporting. So I definitely am excited for the plans that you guys have for the Olympics. I'm so excited to see what it does for our community. And yeah, we got one more question.
We do. Thank you both for providing some insight into what you do in general and some insight and some information regarding the Olympics. We always do want to wrap up with some advice for the youth. I wanted to ask, what advice would you give to young people who want to make a positive impact or pursue leadership roles like yourselves?
I would tell a young person to stay focused, never lose sight of their goals that they have set for themselves, but always to understand that you do not always have to make a big statement. Small things matter all the time. That's what that's the advice I would give to them.
Great, perfect.
Well, anyone knows me that knows that young people, that's my legacy. I have spent my entire life investing in young people, because young people are our future. They are future politicians, they are future doctors, and our future lawyers. For 2026, I've mandated that it's called the Year of the Child. And I'm encouraging every university, our faith-based leaders, our schools, we're gonna do something to make young people feel good about them being a part of our community. It's called the Year of the Child. I think it's important for young people to know which direction they're going in. I always refer to Dr. Seuss, oh, the places you will go. Because in that book, if you have not read it, you need to read it, because it's a roadmap to where you want to go. Because you got to know where you want to go before you can get there. You got to set clear, concise goals, and you got to know what it takes to get there. For me, when I decided to get in politics, I identified two powerful black women. And that was Congresswoman Juanita Milner McDonald and Congresswoman Maxine Waters. That's who I model what I am today after that. Those are two powerful women. And if I can just come up to their kneecaps, I would have done a lot.
Especially Juanita.
Because Juanita was my mentor. I was the last person that she endorsed before she passed, a powerful woman. And I tell any young people, that whatever you're trying to pursue, find that mentor, find that person that you want to become, and you start spending time with them. I spent a lot of time with Juanita. I mean, when she would come to Carson, I was there for her for whatever she needed. I followed in her footsteps. And one thing Juanita told me before she passed, she said, baby, I want you to be graceful. I want you to always be a lady. And I want you to understand that you are powerful. And I remember those words. She said, also, baby, when you come to the meeting, come late. Because everybody else will have said their hellos and you'll walk in and steal the stage. That was my mentor, that was my role model. And I tell young people, if you're trying to become a politician, if you're trying to become a doctor, go and sit with that doctor and then understand, how am I going to get there? You can't just say I'm going to get there. It takes education, it takes time, it takes patience. But if you have clear, defined goals and objectives, and I used to put mine on the mirror, and I'd look at them daily. I said, ooh, this is where I'm going. These are my short-term goals, these are my medium, and these are my long-range goals. I always knew I was going to be the first female mayor of the city of Carson. I always knew that. When I was sworn in, the secretary, when she swore me in, and to become an employee, she looked at me, she said, you're going to be our mayor one day. And I took that, and she comes to every one of my swearing-in ceremonies. I said, you told me this in 1980. Wow. But I followed a path. And Dr. Seuss, you're going to run into some curves, you're going to run into some obstacles along the way, but stay focused. Dream your dream, and don't let anyone steer your ship in a direction you don't want it to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the
Thank you guys, yes.
I want to thank you both for joining us today, taking the time out of your day to come and visit Accelerated Radio for the first time. I also want to thank our viewers for tuning in. We will catch you all next week for another episode of The Next Young Crusaders. Thank you so much.
Can we get another round of applause for our guests?
Yeah.
Lady.
Thank you.
Turn it up. It's the next wave. Baby, the next young Crusaders. We the Crusader now. We the voice of the now. Trendsetters and change makers. From the back talk, drip talk, real trailblazers. Tap in every Wednesday. Your favorites. Powered up by the Brotherhood Crusade. And be more in the cut. Make it big play. 5:30 Accelerated Radio plays young Crusaders. Hey, the next young Crusaders.